Welcome back, everyone, to the Random Number Series. This is episode 39, part 2. And I say part 2 because the first time I tried to record this episode, the sound just didn't pick up at all. There was no voice, there was no music, there was no nothing. So that was 19 minutes of silence, and I just couldn't upload that video. What we were preparing to do is we were preparing to move out of this house. I made a chest with all the stuff we may need. There's a couple empty slots for the 3 spaces in my inventory, but this is all we're taking with us. We got our books, we got our logs, we got some extra tools, some valuables and stuff that we will need for our next house. But I'm so upset that I had to scrap that video because we chopped down some trees, we went mining, we took one last look around the area, and the creeper just blew up in my face, but whatever. We took one last look around the area and we cherished what we've made so far. It's just I okay, I don't know. But I guess what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to do a world tour so far. I'm going to do a complete world tour at episode 100. So when I get to episode 100, that is when I will do an official, I guess you could say, world tour. But right now, we're just gonna go back to where it all began over here. And remember, these are 1.0 chunks. These are old chunks. And I lived here for the first 20 episodes of the Random Number series. And that's just crazy to think about. That's just so weird. But we shall tour, so let's get on with the tour. This is my first house I used from episodes 2 to 20 because the first episode I lived in a cave and I actually don't know where that cave is now. I I've lost the coordinates for that, but it was in a snowy area somewhere. It was probably somewhere near here, but I don't remember. But this was my first house. It was a simple thing. It only had one area, just a couple of chests, some furnaces, and some other stuff as well, mostly junk in here now. And actually, I had troubles with the pressure plates at the beginning because they were very funky. And this is honestly one of my least favorite builds in this world. Not that I've made many, but I just don't really like the structural integrity of this house. It looks weird, and the stairs kind of look weird too if you look at them closely. But over here we have our fishing dock with a pig that's been on this fence for like so long, and it was in my one of my thumbnails as a giant pig. And there's 2 fish in here. This is the fishing dock, and the boat I have is still here, which is surprising, honestly. And then over here we have a mine shaft. This was originally going to be a mine that led into a new one, but there was a bunch of water seeping in through here. I built it at a really bad place, so I never really used it, and by episode 20 I just like, I'm gonna move anyways, so it doesn't really matter. You may have noticed while we were walking to the house over here that there's a tiny little place. This is a floating shack I built on episode 7, around episode 7, because I was bored and I thought it would be cute to have just a tiny little shack on top of the just floating chunk of space we had over here. And so it was basically a cool idea. And then over here, go back over here from the cobblestone trail, there was a village over here, which is where I farmed a bunch of Endermen, especially in the more recent episodes as well. Now, this is an old village, but there's still trades here. They did gain trading, so I still need to have this, like, in safe, unless, where is it? Yeah, you can see, there's the village. You can see I'm talking about over here. It's this village right here. this one, the normal looking one in the desert, because they didn't have the biome specific ones yet. And over here was our first nether portal. I made a mole nether portal because I did not want to mine all that obsidian. You can see my explorations before here. All these portals we've made 1, 2, 3 other attempts before trying to head back home. The first time I did it, I didn't realize it would send me here, and I thought I had made a huge mistake. Huge, huge mistake. I was like, oh god. But anyways, let's get back to our second house, so I'll meet you there. And we're back at our not so current home, so let's take another look around here. This was the furnace room I have recently finished. It wasn't going to be for much use. It was just nice to have, but I did put it to a good amount of use for all the clay I needed to build the brick exterior. And then if you look over here, we have our wonderful crafting room. This was based off a comment. I left a bunch of ideas for rooms, and one of them was a crafting room. So I took it to a literal sense, and I made a room out of purely crafting tables. There's no other resource. You may have thought that was oak planks for the ceiling. Nope. Crafting tables. Every part is a crafting table. And we go over here. This is the dangerous nether portal, which I have learned my mistakes from. And over here is the first wall of commenters. And remember, if you want to be on the wall of commenters, all you gotta do is leave a comment underneath this video, and I'll put you on in the next episode. And then over here we have our trash pit made of lava. It's a little hot, so make sure you don't fall in. Then over here we have our super awesome house part 2, electric boogaloo. I decided to decorate this a bit more with leaves and fences and stuff. And if we go inside here, we have the main room. We've got the jukebox, we got the main stuff, the furnaces, the bed, and the chest. If you go into here, we have our storage room. This is mob drops. This is just decoration stuff. This is ores and stuff, valuables, and then this is natural quote unquote stuff, but more also building blocks. And then this used to be the enchanting room, but I've since moved all of the books and the enchanting table out of here. So now this is just kind of a room. And then this is the first pickaxe I've used. Oh god, no, he broke it. This was the first pickaxe I ever used. This is the pickaxe that got me 3 cobblestone to make this stone pickaxe, which I mined for enough iron to get this iron pickaxe. Probably not this one specifically, but so on and so forth. My point being that this is an important pickaxe of the random number series history. And this is a dog that we found not too long ago. I still need to give him a name, but I don't have a name tag. Maybe one of you could leave a name in the comments below. And then this is our moving out chest, like I said. So we're going to throw the sand in the trash. And we're going to go for one last rest in this house. And there it is. That is our world tour so far. And I think we'll end it there. Thank you so much for watching. If you're enjoying the series, make sure to like and subscribe. And remember, if you want to be on this wall of commenters, all you got to do is leave a comment underneath this video, and I'll put you on before we move in the next episode. But until next time, goodbye.